In a library where books sneezed when they got dusty and bookmarks whispered secrets to each other, there lived a girl named Zara who collected lost thoughts. Not the kind that float away when you're trying to remember your homework. No, Zara collected the weird ones. The thought you had while falling asleep that felt like a bubblegum balloon. The idea that popped into your head when you bit into an apple and suddenly knew how clouds feel. And once, a thought shaped like a tiny umbrella made of smoke that smelled like Tuesday afternoons. She didn't live in a house with a roof. She lived inside a giant hollowed-out book called the Encyclopedia of Almost-Remembered Things, which floated on a river of liquid starlight that flowed through the library's basement. Her bed was made of folded pages, her curtains were woven from forgotten plot twists, and her alarm clock was a sentence that shouted, "Wake up, the story is waiting," every morning at 7:03 a.m. But the strangest thing about Zara wasn't her bookhouse or her thought collection hobby. It was that she had never had a dream. Not one. While other children dreamed of flying or talking animals or giant cupcakes that ruled the world, Zara's nights were silent and dark, like a blank page with nothing written on it. And then one Tuesday, which smelled like pickles and possibility, something strange happened. A book fell off the shelf. Not just any book. This book had no title, no pages, and no spine. It was simply a rectangle of soft, glowing light that hummed like a sleepy bee. When Zara picked it up, it didn't feel heavy. Felt hollow. And then the hook. The book spoke. Not with words. With colors. A swirl of sleepy blue pulsed from its edges, followed by a burst of giggle gold that floated like fireflies made of joy. The colors formed shapes in the air. A ladder, a key, a child with wings. Zara gasped. "Are you a dream?" The book glowed brighter. She opened it. And what she saw inside wasn't paper. It wasn't ink. It was a sky full of floating dreams, tiny shimmering bubbles that drifted like jellyfish in an ocean of midnight. Each bubble held a dream. Some were bright and sparkly. Dreams of flying, of talking to dragons, of ice cream that never melted. Others were soft and quiet. Dreams of holding hands, of listening to rain, of being brave when no one was watching. And in the very center, a single bubble pulsed with a light so warm, it made Zara's chest ache. She reached out. The moment her finger touched the bubble, the library vanished. She wasn't in the library anymore. She stood in a forest of floating clocks, where time dripped from the trees like honey and the wind carried whispers of what if. The ground was made of old calendars, and the sky was a patchwork of forgotten yesterdays. Before her stood a child made of shadows, their face shifting like smoke. "You've come for the dream," the shadow child said, their voice like pages turning. Zara blinked. "What dream?" "The one that belongs to you," the shadow child replied. "The dream you've never had. The dream that's been waiting." Zara's heart thumped. "Why haven't I had it?" "Because dreams need listeners," the shadow child said. "And you've been too busy collecting lost thoughts to hear your own." Zara frowned. "How do I get it back?" The shadow child pointed to a tree made of scattered pages, its branches drooping with broken stories. "The book of scattered dreams holds all the dreams that got lost. Yours is there. But be careful, some dreams are fragile. Some are hungry. And one is hiding." Zara stepped forward. "Which one?" The shadow child's eyes glowed. "The one that sings." Zara's breath caught. She walked toward the tree, her feet silent on the calendar ground. As she reached for a page, the forest held its breath. And then the second hook. The page she touched didn't just show a dream. Pulled her in. Suddenly Zara was flying, not with wings but with laughter. She soared above mountains made of pillows, through clouds that tasted like birthday cake, and past stars that winked in Morse code. She wasn't alone. Children of all shapes and sizes flew with her, their dreams weaving together like ribbons in the wind. And at the center of it all, her dream. It wasn't big. It wasn't flashy. It was a single glowing bubble that hummed a lullaby she'd never heard but somehow knew by heart. Zara reached for it. And as she did, the bubble spoke. "I've been waiting." Tears filled Zara's eyes. "I'm sorry I forgot you." "Dreams don't get forgotten," the bubble whispered. They just wait for someone to listen. Zara cradled the dream in her hands. And in that moment the forest of clocks sang. Time dripped like music. Calendars bloomed into flowers. The shadow child smiled, a real smile, not smoke. Zara closed her eyes and breathed the dream in. When she opened them again, she was back in the library, the glowing book in her hands. But something was different. Her chest felt warm. Her mind felt full. And for the first time in her life, she remembered a dream. From that day on, Zara didn't just collect lost thoughts. She collected lost dreams too. And if you look closely, very closely, at the edge of your pillow at night, you might see a tiny bubble floating in the air. Don't pop it. It might be someone's dream, waiting to be found.